Alright guys, Epic Slayers here, welcome back to a brand new Division video. Today I'm going to compare the Hexo build versus some of the strongest Ninjabike builds versus classified gear sets. Now there is concerns in the community that the Hexo build will no longer be viable in 1.7, so I'm here to clear a few things up, and let's see if the Hexo build will still be able to compete in 1.7. On screen I've wrote a list of some of the strongest Ninjabike builds, at least for PvP, in 1.7. I'll briefly go over those with you. We've got 2-piece Predator, 2-piece Banshee, 1-piece Tacticians, 3-piece Predator, 2-piece Banshee, 3-piece Alpha Bridge, 2-piece Predator, 3-piece Alpha Bridge, 2-piece Banshee, and then lastly 3-piece Striker, 2-piece Predator. And of course guys, there is a lot more than this, but I believe these are certainly the strongest of the lot, with 2-piece Predator, 2-piece Banshee, 1-piece Tacticians probably being the strongest out of all of these potentially, but again I would need to test all of these, which I've not been able to do. Now I'll just go over the first one with you and kind of just go over what you're going to be getting with this build. So 2-piece Predator, 2-piece Banshee, 1-piece Tacticians with Ninjabike turns into 3-piece Predator, 3-piece Banshee, 2-piece Tacticians. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my god, that sounds absolutely fucking awesome, and it is. I mean, 3-piece Predator, what you're getting with that is you're getting that 10% reload speed from the 2-piece. You're also getting that 8% assault rifle damage and 8% SMG damage from the 3-piece. Coupled with Banshee, the 3-piece on that, you're getting 10% to damage targets out of cover. And then with 2-piece Tacticians, you're getting that 15% skill haste. So you're getting 50% skill haste, you're getting basically 18% damage. And really, that's just, I mean, that's unbelievably strong. Especially if you're, for example, speccing into high skill haste. For example, if you're running skill haste on the holster, if you're running skill haste on the chest piece, if you're running it on your mods, you could probably hit the cap of 50% skill haste on that. So you're getting 50% skill haste, you're actually getting 18% additional damage, you're probably going to be getting crit on possibly the gloves, and you can just imagine the damage numbers you're going to be getting from this build, and the versatility, because you're not only going to be getting a lot of damage, you're also going to be getting very good heal, your skills are going to come back quicker as well, so you'll be able to pulse more often. You could probably stack adept if you've got it on a weapon, so your crit hit chance, you could actually probably reach the crit hit cap, especially when you're using an SMG, for example. So it's crazy. The heal will be crazy as well. It's actually unbelievable. Now, does this beat the Hexo build? It's hard to say really, because the Hexo build is very, very strong. Now let's look at 3-piece Predator, 2-piece Banshee, for example. Very similar to the 2-piece Banshee, 2-piece Predator, 1-piece Tactician, apart from with the 3-piece Predator you're getting the 4-piece, so you're getting that bleed. Now you are going to be doing 18% damage with 3-piece Predator, 2-piece Banshee. I will let you know, guys, and you probably already know that they are going to have to be out of cover for Banshee to proc. Obviously, it's 10% to targets out of cover, but that's most of the time that happens anyway, because this isn't a cover-based shooter, unfortunately. So the chances are that's going to proc most of the time. So you're getting that amazing bleed from the damage that you're doing. And really, if using something like an MP7 or using like a Bullfrog with stability on the backpack, then really you're going to be melting people, especially with that bleed on them. Really, really good. Now 3-piece Alpha Bridge, 2-piece Banshee or 2-piece Predator is again very good. You're getting that extra talent from Alpha Bridge. Also, you don't need to spec into electronics or stamina or anything like that to unlock the talents that you get with the Alpha Bridge 4-piece. Plus you're getting the damage from Predator or Banshee. It's crazy. So you can see, guys, Ninjabike is going to be an absolutely fucking awesome piece, and I hope they don't change it. I hope it remains the same, and I'm sure it will be. Now again, is this going to be better than Hexo? It's hard to say, and I want to just briefly go over the Hexo build with you and just see what you get from Hexo compared to these Ninjabike comps. So as you can tell, there is an argument for Ninjabike being the best thing since fucking sliced bread. In 1.7, it's certainly taken over the game. But the Hexo build is certainly still going to be up there, and let's go over what you can get from a Hexo build which you couldn't get from the Ninjabike builds. Let's start off with the high ends and all the different talents that you get with the high ends. Let's start off with body armor, for example. Now on body armor you could run something like Reckless, which gives you that 8% additional damage. With that said, you do take that additional 10% damage, but for out and out DPS, this thing is fucking amazing. You can also get something like a rapid chest piece, which decreases your cooldown for healing skills by 15%. Now you don't get that anywhere on the Ninjabike build. A vigorous chest piece, for example, grants overheal to all healing skills. Now in a group, especially for PvP in a group, that's very good to have, and certainly worth more than a lot of the Ninjabike gear that you're going to be getting. Now moving on to something like, for example, the masks. There's Refresh Mask, which gives all healing is improved by 30% when the last health segment. And that's crazy, 30% extra heal. Now you're not going to be getting that on the Ninjabike build. A Tenacious Mask will give you an extra 10% damage for 10 seconds when using a med kit. Or you could run with the Pharaoh's Oxygen Mask. A user can run and shoot with their weapon while burning, which again is still very important. What with a lot of the Ninjabike builds will probably run something like a 2-piece Tacticians, 3-piece Firecrest. You're going to be on fire a lot of time, I imagine, in PvP. So a Pharaoh's Oxygen Mask is very, very good. It would negate that armor at least so that you could make those shots off and get those kills. So you're not going to be getting any of those in the Ninjabike build. Let's go on to say, for example, the knees. Really, there isn't anything in the knees apart from short bow knee pads, but that's one of the best sort of exotics in the game, giving you that very, very short diffuse, 0.2 seconds diffuse. So basically when you throw a grenade and it hits the floor, it blows up. Pretty fucking awesome. Backpacks, very similar. There's really only one backpack you're going to be running in a Hexo build, and that'll be a specialized backpack granting you 200% of your firearms and stamina. Now a lot of the times if you're running in PvP, you're most probably going to be stacking into firearms and electronics in its current state. So if you are stacking into firearms a lot, like me for example with my Hexo build, then you're getting a lot of skill power from Specialized. You're probably getting between 20 and 30,000. Now that's an incredible amount of skill power that you will not be getting anywhere on that Ninjabike build, for example like the Banshee or the Predators one. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now you get the Skull's MC gloves, which give you that 16% extra damage. So that's crazy. Just that one piece, you're getting that 16% extra damage if you're running all high ends and no gear set talents are active. So that's pretty massive. Now if you include, say for example, you prop Tenacious as well as you've got your Skull MC gloves, that's 20% extra, sorry, 26% additional damage, which is really, really, you know, crazy. And if you're running a Reckless chest piece, for example, then 34% additional damage. Crazy numbers that I can't see you getting on any of these Ninjabike builds. And then lastly, onto the holsters. There's only really two holsters that you're going to be looking at. You're looking at the Nimble holster. After completing a cover-to-cover move in combat, you heal 2% of your max health over 4 seconds for every 1 meter run. Unfortunately, it has been nerfed into the ground. It's still viable and still worth it, but I would much rather use Colonel Bliss's holster. Hitting a target consecutively with a sidearm increases your damage of all weapons by 2% for 20 seconds. This effect stacks until 10 shots, after which the stack is consumed and triggers an EMP effect. So effectively, if you hit 9 shots, and then you also hit a med kit, and you've also got Reckless going, then you're getting 18% extra damage from Colonel Bliss's holster, you're getting 8% additional damage from Reckless, you're getting 10% from Tenacious, and then 16% from Skulls. You're well over 50% additional damage. Now, you're not going to be getting any of those talents active on those Ninjabike builds. So for anyone saying that the Hexo build will not be viable in 1.7, they are wrong. So guys, I hope I've been able to convince you that the Hexo build will still be viable in 1.7. It will still be top tier and compete with any Ninjabike builds and classified gear sets in PvP. And PvE, then of course, classified gear sets, the 6-piece strikers or the 6-piece sentries will certainly rule the game. But in PvP, you're looking at the Hexo build and some Ninjabike builds that I've mentioned in this game being the meta. And I've not even included, for example, if you're not convinced with the Hexo build, I've not included Barrett's Bulletproof Vest, which is still one of the strongest chase pieces in the game. So if you did agree with me, drop a like, leave a comment below, and thank you very much for watching. Until next time, peace.